Hello class, this is Mr. Diaz again. What we're going to discuss today is a brand new chapter. It has nothing to do with factoring. This is chapter 7. We're dealing with graphing and the slopes. That's generally what we're going to take a look at. The first section that we're going to take a look at is probably the easiest section on this chapter, but the other sections are not that bad neither. We're talking about the rectangular coordinate system. So what is the rectangular coordinate system? It is made up of two number line axes. One is your x-axis, which will control the horizontal. So if it's positive, it's going to move to the right. If it's negative, it's going to move to the left. And by the way, you always start from the center when you're doing this. And then when you land in one of those positions, either right or left, then you're either going to move up or down. So the y-axis controls the vertical. If it's positive, it'll be up. If it's negative, it'll be down. Now, we are no longer going to call it a point because we're not dealing with a single value here. We're dealing with two different values. We remember the x controls the horizontal, the y controls the vertical. So this is now going to be called an ordered pair. So instead of calling it a point, they're going to refer to it as an ordered pair. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example here. And once again, this is referring to your worksheet 7.1. If you haven't taken a look at that, we're going to go ahead and plot these points into a coordinate system. You have something very similar on MyMathLab. So let's go ahead and take a look at these points. So we're going to, and it's quite easy. So let's take a look here. You're going to have to either use graphing paper or draw a graph onto yourself. And let me pan down here. And let me make it a little bit smaller so everything fits in here. All right, so that's about good enough here. So like I was telling you here, the x-axis controls the horizontal. The y-axis controls the vertical. And you may be asking, where do you start? Well, you always start with the x. So for the first ordered pair that they're giving us here, in letter A, they're telling us that we have 2 and 4. All right, so they're looking for the ordered pair 2 and 4. So you start off with the 2. And you start off from the center, so you're going to move, since it's positive 2, you're going to move 2 places to the right. So it's 1, 2, stays right there. And since the second coordinate is that 4 right there, and it's positive, you're going to move 4 places up. So the second one controls whether it goes up or down. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is your ordered pair for the ordered pair 2 and 4. So it's that simple. And that's what they're going to ask you for the first couple of sections here. They want you to go ahead and plot this right here. Once again, if you have graphing paper, it works a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to tell. But essentially, that's where your ordered pair is 2, 4. The next ordered pair that they're giving you here is -3 and -5 and 3 in letter B. So -5 and 3. So remember, you always start from the center. Since it's -5 for the x, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if it's positive, it moves to the right. If it's negative, it moves to the left. So here we're at -5. And your second coordinate is a positive 3. So that means that it's going to move up 3. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. That's your ordered pair, -5 and 3. So once again, the x controls the horizontal, the y controls the vertical right there. So it's not a big deal. Remember, we're not graphing lines yet. All we're doing is just plotting ordered pairs. Let's try one more here. So for letter C, we have -1 and -3. All right, so we have -1 and -3. So -1, remember you start from the center, you're going to move one place to the left. And since the second order pair is -3, you're going to move down 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to be right there. So once again, this is your order pair for -1, -3. So 1 to the left and 3 down. So remember, you always start from the center. You're either going to go to the left or to the right, depending on whether your x is positive or negative. And then once you get to that x, you're either going to move up or down, depending on what your y value is, whether it's positive or negative. Let's go ahead and finish them all, since it's not a big deal here with these. So letter D, you have 2 and -2. 2 and -2. So once again, you're going to move 1, 2 places to the right, but the second value is -2. So you're going to move 1, 2 places down. So that's your value right there, 2, -2. The next value that we have is 0, 5 for letter E. Since we're not going to move on the x because x is 0, it stays right there. But we're either going to move up or down. Your y value is 5, so you're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one will be right on the y-axis. So this will be the order pair for 0 and 5. All right. Next, we have letter F. We have -3.5 and 0. In this case, you're going to have to do an educated guess. So in this case, -3.5, you're going to move -3.5 places to the left. -1, -2, -3, and 3.5 will be somewhere around here. And since your second value is 0, it's not going to move up or down. It's going to stay right there. So this is your order pair, or in this case your point, for -3.5, 0. So it's going to be on the x-axis, just the opposite of what we did for this one. This one was on the y-axis, this will be on the x-axis. All right, so once again, it's not a big deal. Just make sure that you know that the x controls the horizontal. So you start from the center. If it's positive, you move to the right. If it's negative, you move to the left. Once you reach that number, then you're either going to go up or down, depending on what its value is. If it's positive, it moves up. If it's negative, it moves down. All right, so this concludes part 1.